That's a perfect fade. I knew I wanted you here for something. Chris McCarthy, MVP. See, it's Father's Day. The fathers are teaming up today. Nice work. That was outstanding.
Dad, you need any stage help?
Any stage
Always.
Audio, visual.
Always.
Constantly.
Gloucester with the Foley artist, you can.
I'm a good fader.
Wow, good.
No one fades like he fades,
Yeah.
especially when he's drinking.
Especially in golf.
Fade away.
No, he's got a good
I
fade.
got a good fade in golf.
GloucesterCast 340. It's the Father's Day 2019
The
GloucesterCast.
biggest holiday of the year is here.
Big,
Yes.
big. Bow down.
Yes.
Bow down. Oh,
Father's
the
Day.
seed. We have planted the seeds. We have the children. I got the best Father's Day gift ever today.
What's that?
It just when you have a teen daughter, and just when you think like the older teen one is just graduated from middle school, about to go to high school, so she's a little aloof right now and into her cell phone, and she's just not all that present all the time. She made me the nicest video today, montage of the two of us, and with Dallin and Kate in it and everything, and best dad ever, all this stuff. And you can forgive so much
Yeah.
malaise when you get something like that. Like it's funny because my mom's the same way. Like I'll be a rotten son and like not call her in a couple of weeks, and then like I do something nice, and all of a sudden I'm like the greatest son ever, even though I'm not the greatest son ever. So Father's Day, happy Father's Day. What are your who's are you a father?
Yeah.
You're a father.
No.
Father. Okay, what do you do? What describe the ultimate Father's Day?
The ultimate Father's Day. Being on a golf course for 5 hours, have a few cocktails, play golf with the boys, and then come home and have dinner with the family.
There you go.
Ditto.
Oh, I didn't know you golfed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm not a golfer, but mine's very similar. Mine is to chill out, to barbecue,
Yeah.
smoke a cigar on the deck, watch the Red Sox with everybody, and eat barbecue at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine.
It's hilarious how so many guys think that the perfect Father's Day involves spending large blocks of time away from their children.
Where was my time away from the children?
I'm playing golf with my children.
His boys golf.
It's blocks of time
You
away
say
from
that.
the wife.
Emil,
All right, we're gonna go around the room. We have Eric Majors with us.
Hi, good morning.
Good. What are we talking about today?
Straws, stirs, stoppers, plastic, Gloucester.
Oh.
June
Hashtag. Those are all hashtags.
Yeah, June 25th is when it goes to Gloucester City Hall for vote.
All right, we're gonna talk about that. Chris McCarthy's with us.
Hi, Joe. Good morning. Happy birthday.
Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day.
It's your birthday too?
Yeah.
It is my birthday.
always.
It is every week.
It's your Baldwin.
Hence the presents. Susan Lipset is with us.
Good morning, Gloucester. Happy Father's Day.
Bob Walsh is with us.
Hey.
The girl, the Hines Walsh. What was your name?
Cook-Hines. Madison Cook-Hines.
She's got it. Cook-Hines.
Cook-Hines. No,
Yes.
what was the first one?
Madison.
Madison Cook-Hines. She's here.
Yes.
Heidi
She's,
Dallin.
Heidi Dallin is here.
Good morning.
Kim Smith is here.
Good morning, Gloucester.
And Joey Shimataro is here. That's me.
Sort of.
Are you sure?
Kind of, sort of.
Sort
It's
of.
a long weekend. I spent up and down the Annisquam River, which is really nice. A blessing. Anybody that does it, it should be required that everybody has to take a boat ride on a nice Saturday afternoon up and down the Annisquam to get a true appreciation. It's one of those Gloucester things that, like, if you never really get on the water, you'll never get the full Monty,
It's so beautiful.
so to say.
Did you go by the osprey nest?
I did, but I wasn't paying attention.
Just curious. There's some babies in
No,
there.
I know. Chris pointed them out the other day, but I was distracted.
Okay.
I was distracted. We're going to talk about. We're going to start out with our friends from Gloucester Stage. I guess we've dropped the Gorton's people out. They're not with us anymore. Are they with us anymore?
Well, they're still here in Gloucester, but we bought the building from them.
You did?
Yeah,
like 10
years ago.
That's so out of
He wasn't paying attention again.
Can I say something?
We bought the building.
My
That's
children. This is something that goes along with children. Like when they're in grade school, it seems like it just crawls by.
Now it's
Every year, like I swear
much
to
it
God,
does.
Yeah.
like the last 10 years, has flown. Like I just can't believe it, and I'm scared to death because like so my daughter just went from 8th grade to like I said, to she's going to high school next year. I just have this feeling I'm going to blink and she's going to be in college.
That's what it is.
It gets faster as you get older.
Yeah.
It does. It just flies.
Accelerated rate.
Okay, so
There's a scientific reason for that, but
Oh,
I
is
can't-
there?
Yeah, I can't explain it. But there is a scientific reason for
and you
that.
don't have it. I figured you'd have it
Yeah,
right
a
at the
year
tip of your
becomes a smaller and smaller percentage of your life.
Oh, right. There you go.
Like
Yeah,
the
that's
monarch
true.
butterflies.
No, not at all.
I thought there was a correlation. There's a correlation between.
No, it's the plovers.
Does anyone else want to ring in before the buzzer sounds?
Barefoot in the Park is at Gloucester Stage, and I hear it's funny.
Yeah, me too. I heard
Word
it
on the
was
street?
Word on the street is it's real good.
exciting.
I love it when word on the street's good.
Yeah.
So what is this? What's the deal with Barefoot in the Park?
Well, easily one of Simon's most famous and popular plays.
Classic.
Ran forever on Broadway, so won a ton of awards. Turned into a film.
Wait, who? Robert
Redford and Jane Fonda.
Fun guys. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were fun. That was a sweet movie.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
really. It was. Did you see it? It
It's
was
a classic
really great.
60s. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah, the costumes. Oh my God, she has a Burberry coat on. Like
You weren't
early,
born
like-
yet, Joe. So you probably weren't
67.
Yeah.
It's really-
But great
really
cast.
fun.
Michaela Donovan, Joe Short, Paula Plum, and Richard Snee. And both couples are married.
Oh wow,
So it's
Yeah.
hysterical. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really
it's
fun.
really
Oh
fun.
wow.
that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
How did you
Fun.
pick? How did you pick this one?
Actually, it was a play that Joe and I were talking about because he and Michaela had like recently read it or something like that. And so, I jumped on it. I read it, and I thought, oh my gosh, yeah, of course. And getting Richard and Paula together anytime is a huge amount of fun. But also, I don't know if this is a trend, but last year, we did True West, but it was to honor and celebrate Sam Shepard, who had passed away the year before.
Gotcha.
And then Neil Simon passed away last year. So we just,
Yeah, that's
and it's not like we've done a ton of Simon at Gloucester Stage. I know that we did the Red Hot Lovers about 10 years ago or
Yeah,
something. But,
that's
So,
a sweet idea. That's a sweet tradition.
but it's also part of our mission is to do what we call American classics. So this pretty much fit that bill for me. We have a fantastic director, Shana Gazansky, who's I'm just crazy about her now. She's really done a lovely job with it, and our designers are top shelf. So the whole thing is really good.
Oh man,
I know.
how's it been received? Has there been any? When did it open?
Last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
Yeah.
When,
yeah.
and how about the press?
Well, the press comes. There's press coming today too. So they've been.
You know what I think?
sprinkled through.
You want to hear my take on my guess, my uneducated guess on this? Like there still was graduations like
Right,
last
it's
week.
so hard.
Yeah.
It's so,
Like summer really
so
hasn't
hard.
kicked. Summer hasn't kicked in
Right,
yet.
right.
Summer
Those
kicked.
people
Summer's
have to get
really.
all their plants planted.
Right.
Yeah, get the houses ready. Take the. Yeah.
This show's a good length too. It's 2 hours with intermission.
Oh.
Like there's an intermission. You can get a glass of wine or beer. We know
Joey's
Joey
favorite.
loves that. And it's 2 hours. So
Some tailgating.
not you
Yes.
7:30, 9:30. You're out. You can still go to
And
the
you do.
Franklin for dinner afterwards or
Yeah, that's
something.
our thing. Go to the
You know.
Franklin after the plays. It's wonderful. It's
That's
a
great.
wonderful night out.
It's a great take.
absolutely
It's
wonderful
it's
night out.
one of those Gloucester things that we're blessed to have Gloucester Stage in our lives that so many communities don't have anything like
Right.
this. And we don't just get like rinky dink like banana head plays. We get like real deal actors and stuff like that. No, you know what I mean? There's some places that have like
Yeah.
theater troops that are a bunch of
Community
wahoos.
theater.
We get real actors here.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And Bob's directing
Get some
the
bad
next
actors
show
here too.
after Barefoot in the Park. Bob's directing the next show.
What's the next show?
The 39 Steps,
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock.
Susan will be there.
I took an entire semester class in college, the films of Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh,
Really?
We called it clapping for credit.
called
Claiming for
Clapping
credit.
for credit.
That's interesting.
So you're gonna go to this one? Or you gonna do a write up?
I go to a lot of them. I just
Tom
don't
has
tell
Tom
you.
has Tom hasn't seen Barefoot
He
in Park?
hasn't seen Barefoot. We were supposed to see it Thursday, but we had a babysitting thing going on. So
This whole baby is getting in the way of my
Yeah.
just cramping my
Pat's
things.
seen it. She's one of our She was there opening weekend.
Pat's the big
She's
time
honored.
volunteer. Are there still volunteer opportunities there?
Still, oh my gosh, yes.
Everything.
There's all kinds of Ushering, we're always looking for ushers. We're looking for housing volunteers.
Maggie Rose is off the list?
No, she's top on the list.
No,
Doesn't
she's
she always
top on the
volunteer?
list, but we have
They have
more.
other. They have more.
Oh, you got a bunch of
Yeah,
actors.
we always
Yeah.
have- we always have
More
a
people
bunch.
coming from New York this season.
Wow.
So we
Yeah, so Ben Butler.
Ben Butler, you gotta see, because he was not only a general in the Union Army, but he was a governor of Massachusetts, and he lived here in Gloucester.
Really?
The story's really pretty amazing.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's really
amazing.
crazy amazing. We're actually joining forces with Cape Ann Museum to do an event, special event, which I want to say now is on 27th. Is that right?
27th July.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the,
before it
there's a
opens,
ton
yeah.
of stuff.
Oh, I
I
love
mean,
that.
Oh,
memorabilia, content about Butler's life
Wow.
and living in Bayview.
Pat Delphias
and,
will love that, won't she?
you know, over on the Ames estate, and then the cast will come in and do a quick scene. The director will be there, so it's pretty cool.
So
But they're
Pat
all
Tal. So
from
wait,
New
if she's
York.
if they lived in Gloucester, then we could put Pat on this to do some of that the research about the Butler guy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can put Asher on it too, who has a degree in American history.
he was the also
Yeah.
he was the governor of Massachusetts. He was the one that started the tradition of the long walk, how the governor walks alone out of the State House. He was the first one to do it, and because nobody wanted to leave with him, he left rather unpopular when he was governor, and he just walked out alone. But now all the governors do that, and he was the one. And George, he's related to George Plimpton, is his great grandson. So George Plimpton's brother's involved, and he's going to be here, and
Cool.
so it's going to. But the director and the actors for that are
Coming in with we have two guys from Boston. The rest everybody else.
yeah, and we've got the guy playing Butler was in the off-Broadway production.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in the off-Broadway production. So they're all, and so that's the month of August the show runs, and then rehearsals are July. So trying to find housing then for
Okay.
a director from New York and 2 actors is, yeah. So that's a definite way to get involved.
Okay.
And then we followed that. We feel like we got super lucky. There was a play just on Broadway called The Lifespan of Effect, and we're the first theater to do it since it's Broadway run.
It's only been on. It was written and went right to Broadway.
Wow.
So we're the only theater in the world to have it.
That's
We have it
Well,
first.
there's other theaters will do it. But
Okay.
We have it first. Yeah.
we got the
First.
jump.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So not only do we have all of that, but we have Madison Cook-Hines here.
Yeah.
Did I nail it?
Hey,
That's my name, absolutely.
Damn. Madison
she's the
Cook-Hines.
most mature one in the room, by the way.
Oh, by miles. By miles. She is directing The Binding,
Yes, a stage
And-
reading of The Binding.
a stage reading of The Binding. And what is your background?
My background?
Yeah, because this is a new gig for you, right?
Yeah, so I'm the directing apprentice at Gloucester Stage right now. I just graduated from the University of Rhode Island, where I studied
Congratulations.
directing. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Mazel tov.
That's pretty much my background.
So how did you find Gloucester Stage, or how did Gloucester Stage find you?
So Joe Short, production manager, one of the stars of Barefoot in the Park, taught at URI once a week, and I've been taking his classes for a couple of years. And so he talked to me about it, and
Oh,
I
that's
applied,
great.
and now I'm here.
Wow,
That's
great.
awesome.
That's a great
Yeah.
match.
How are you liking the town?
It's great.
Yeah,
I know. I'm trying to take every chance I get to explore.
yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot to explore.
Where did you live in Rhode Island? Are you from Rhode Island, or you
Yeah.
just went to school there?
So I'm from Coventry, Rhode Island, which is I live all the way to the west.
They say Coventry, not Coventry.
Coventry, if you want to do it with the accent. Coventry.
Yeah, I also went to college in Rhode Island, and she's exactly right.
I'm saying, I'm
And I also went
So
to
is
college in Rhode Island.
Bryant,
Bryant.
Bryant
You
College,
went to Bryant?
Yes.
captain of the
Was
golf
it like
team.
a joint venture with the prison system at the adult correctional?
Yes.
I mean, it's awesome that you had these
Is
opportunities.
Coventry all the way to the west and south, or just all the way?
So it's north to south. It's right in the middle of the state,
Okay.
and it's a really long, large town. But I live all the way to the west, so like I can go grocery shopping in Connecticut, and it's probably faster than doing it in Coventry. So
That's
It's
wild.
such a
Yeah.
pretty area, isn't it?
it's
yeah.
nice. I live in the woods, so
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah,
time.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So tell me about The Binding.
So it's a really wonderful, joyful, charming play about kind of a harmful thing. So we start off with Isaac, who's a deeply closeted boy in a religious household, and his mother, who's a youth preacher, and everything's going fine until Isaac's childhood imaginary friend shows up, and with lots of music and glitter and magic, tries to coax him out of the closet. And it's a really charming, wonderful play about the misguided ways that we love each other, and imagination being so much more important than regulation.
Oh.
Oh, what a great
She just sold it.
Yeah.
She just
And it's
totally
part
sold
of
it.
what
Bob,
you
she's a
mean-
Bob, just sign her now. You're going to extend the contract right now.
Exactly.
The signing
Heidi's
bonuses.
job here in a hot second. I can feel confident.
Signing bonuses. I could see.
We're teaming with
So-
North Shore Pride with this too, and the author is going to be here. The author is coming from New York, Tyler, and he's going to be coming out for a few days, and he's going to be here to work with Madison. Because the way staged readings works, it's all day. It's an all-day affair. Like, the actors come in the morning, they rehearse, they work all day, and then you do it at night. So he will work with the actors, and he's a friend of Chris Griffith, who's our managing director, and they work together in Indiana.
Oh,
So
that's exciting.
yeah. So that would be great, and it's free. The binding is free.
Did you ever imagine that, like, right out of college, you're going to, like, be thrown right into work like this?
No, but I'm sure glad I am.
It's great, isn't it? I mean, what an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
no,
be
it
so.
was-
So will you stick around after the binding has done its thing?
Oh yes. So I get to be the assistant director on all the shows at Gloucester, which is
What an
awesome.
experience.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And
Wow.
then I get to direct one more staged reading that will be in August.
Jeez, what an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It really is.
there are 8 apprentices, and they all live together in a house in Essex. They're mostly they're recent college graduates, and they all have their like, I have an education apprentice, we have the directing apprentice, and
Do you have a marketing apprentice?
yep, there's a marketing apprentice. Yep, a marketing
Must
apprentice.
be, that must be a hell of a time. All a bunch of kids living together.
You
And
should do a reality TV
Essex.
show of the house.
Well, I keep teasing
like
the
Terrace House.
I keep teasing the apprentices, like, look for those hidden cameras we put in there. You know.
No doubt.
I would watch it.
No doubt.
I know, I would watch it too.
Well, listen, we have a link in the show notes to both of these shows, and for information, there's also, if you can contact, there's links for contact information for Gloucester Stage to get a hold of Heidi if you would like to volunteer. There's a ton of opportunities, and the volunteers get to see shows, and there's a lot of perks for them as well, right?
There's a lot of perks for them, definitely.
If I come over to Usher, do I get an Usher and apprentice?
And I will get you one. I would get you one.
Pat Dalpiaz could be your usher.
No, she's. way
Well, thank you
smart.
guys for coming. I know you have to be
Yeah,
somewhere.
that's great.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Eric Majors is here.
Negative.
No.
Seaside Sustainable.
Sustainability.
State.
Seaside.
Seaside sustainability. It's a
Sustainability.
pretty bad long name, but it is who we are.
No, you do good work though.
Yes.
People are happy.
Good. Well, I hope so.
You're making a difference.
Trying.
So today, what is the in particular part we're talking about today?
So today we are taking phase 2 of Gloucester's fight against plastics and try to get them out of our marine ecosystem. Mostly
One single-use plastics, right?
Single-use plastic, yeah. So we did successfully did a plastic bag and polystyrene ban with the Gloucester Clean City Commission as a joint effort.
Can I pipe in on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So so now that it's been in effect for a couple of months, how are you doing with it? I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it,
I'm
with the
fine.
exception of straws.
Okay, but then we're talking about the paper, taking
the
away
paper
the
bags.
plastic bags.
Yeah.
So far
Bags in the grocery store.
has not impacted my life to a substantial degree at all.
Yeah,
Not
the only
mine.
thing it
I
is,
still
it is.
can't remember to bring in my reusable shopping bags when I go in the store.
I
Then-
can't.
then
But
you
me and
just-
you both have memory issues.
I just
So
don't know
But
how
then
I'm
you
gonna
just get
do that.
paper, right? You just
But
get
I-
No, because I don't want all that trash either. What I do, I bring up the groceries out in the paper bags, put them in the reusable ones, which are in my car, and then I bring the paper ones back to the store.
Oh,
That's next level.
That's yeah.
That's next level, right?
Well,
That's
it's like a punishment or penance for not remembering.
It would be nice if the brown paper bags had handles.
Some of them do.
I know some of them do, but it would be nice because they are a little bit more challenging.
Yeah,
to-
that
Oh,
would
come
be.
on.
No, they are.
Have
You have to be. Listen, if we're gonna be, you gotta be fair and balanced. If you're gonna be fair and balanced, you gotta be fair and balanced. They are a little bit more of a pain in the ass, but not enough to say I wouldn't do it.
No, no.
I'm happy that
And
it happened.
I'm all for
So the string
the
bag,
reason
the
why we're
stretchy
doing
ones
it.
they use in France
It's
for
just
I
I
marketing.
think companies
that.
could get more creative now that we're all heading in this direction. I mean, we're all smart people. Let's figure out a way to.
It's
know.
cost though. They're all
I
balancing
know.
out
So
costs.
charge me 10 more cents at the cash register.
Cost
Charge-
and convenience. That's those are the two
Yeah,
big things in the United States.
Right.
yeah.
Cost and convenience.
See, to you and I, we would both pay 10 cents extra
For what?
Not a bag.
for more of.
Hide it. Build it into a pack of gum. Charge me 2 more cents for a pack of gum, so that I could get a nice bag with a handle.
With a handle on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be plastic,
Right,
but a more
Well,
convenient
all
bag.
the grocery stores used to have bags with handles.
I know, yeah.
It's more expensive. Now
Trader
you have
Joe's
to.
still
Now
does.
if you forget your reusable bags, then you have to get a double paper bag so it doesn't break. You have to get it doubled because it's such thin material now.
Right.
If it's just a single paper bag, it'll
And
just
forget
break.
if there's something cold and
So-
wet in there. Like
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Oh,
that.
yeah. Good night.
Or a green pepper at the bottom that they put at the bottom of all the heavy stuff, and it squished the green pepper, so the bottom was wet. And
Okay, well, if you use the self-checkout, you would have full control over that.
I
That's
can't
true.
do self checkout. You pump your own gas?
Yes, I do.
You do.
I so do.
You do? Oh, you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. There's a difference. Down the south, like full service doesn't exist down south. Everything's
It does a little bit,
barely,
but
barely.
I avoid it. It costs more.
I never pump my own gas.
I don't.
Or use the
Nah.
self checkout.
Oh my God!
Never.
I use self
self-checkout on a
checkout. I
couple
use self
times.
checkout.
I
Eric,
use
we're gonna,
self-checkout. I want to keep the checkout people with their jobs. I
Me
don't want to
too.
just.
That's
Well, the
what I
self checkout,
do.
you
know,
can get a couple free items. It's worth it. No, I'm kidding.
You
Stop
can
and
avoid
shop.
being overcharged.
See, cost and convenience. There it is.
so
I
okay.
like
So
the human interaction.
if there's no one in line, then I go to the people. But if it's backed up and I can get right through going self checkout, I'm definitely going self checkout.
I'll drive 3 extra miles to find a gas station with people in it instead of
Really?
pump my own. Yeah.
I like Flanagan Square. I go to Flanagan Square. I pay a
Yeah,
little.
me
I
too.
pay a little extra because their
local
service is fantastic.
Great.
I like the smell of gas. I like it when it gets on my pants. I just do, and that's it.
I
So
do.
I don't mind it. It's a weird thing.
I love the smell of gas.
Oh, I always like the smell of gas.
I do.
I
I love the
Gas.
smell of napalm in
I
the
pumped
morning.
gas for 5 years, so.
I do love the smell of gas.
So Eric, so
plastic
continue on.
bags and polystyrene. Yeah, it's been successful for the it's been successful across the Gloucester and lots of communities. There's tons of communities across the country that are doing it. States are doing it. All full countries around the world are doing it. So super successful.
So the
Polystyrene.
polystyrene is the worst thing in the world.
Polystyrene, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just terrible. So,
Yeah.
So the next level of what's
so
happening.
next level, what we're doing, we are putting a proposal together for a city ordinance. It's going to vote on June 25th at 7 o'clock at City Hall for single-use straws, plastic straws, stirs, and hot stoppers. And so we all know what a straw is. We all know what a stir is. A hot stopper. Oh my God, you actually have one.
Oh yeah, those
That's
things.
it.
Oh.
That's great.
Why
Wow,
are those
look
things
at you.
there?
No more hot
Very
stoppers.
prepared.
What are those things?
So it is.
I do have a paper cup.
So it is like it's a your plastic lid has a little oval in it for your mouthpiece, and that's a little plastic
Plug.
little plug.
So it doesn't, if you're going in your
Splash
car, it
guard.
doesn't splash out.
Exactly.
Splash guard.
Exactly.
I see.
But places like McDonald's actually have them built into it.
Mm.
Right.
It's that little flap.
Yep.
That's of course not banned, but that's so.
So wait,
all-
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The cup, the coffee cup lids, are those bad too, or no?
Well, the reality is China stopped taking our recycling. And they stopped taking it several months ago, over a year ago now, because our the United States, we're not educated enough to know what goes into our stream recycling and how to keep it clean, and
So-
they want it super, super clean.
And they call our recycling stuff dirty.
Exactly.
Dirty
So they
plastic.
stop taking it.
Right.
So,
Right.
is our recycling actually being recycled? Is a good question. And a lot of it's not. I mean, a lot of our recycling that we throw in our recycling bins here, we think we're doing a great job here at Recycle. A lot of it's getting burned for energy. At least it's getting burned for energy, but it is getting burned. Some of it's being downcycled to different products for especially plastics. Aluminum is a great product if you're going to buy. If you have a beer, you can buy beer in aluminum or plastic, or I don't know. Can you buy beer in plastic?
It's glass.
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 If you can do aluminum or glass, buy your aluminum.
Buy
It's better.
aluminum.
Better for the environment. Better. So,
But you never told me about the lids for the coffee
is
cups.
it bad? Well, you said, is it bad?
Well, are you trying to ban those or not?
Oh no! No, it's not a coffee cup lid. No,
Coffee cup lids are
because
good. They're
it is-
recyclable.
coffee. No single-use plastics are good.
So is this a single-use plastic?
It is, but that is not part of our order. That coffee cup lid, single-use plastic lid, is not.
The plug is, but
Yeah.
not the lid. Okay.
Right.
Now, is the reason for that is because there isn't a solution for that, and you figured everything would get thrown out if you tried to include that?
No, there are compostable alternatives for them. So
There are for the plastic lids.
Yes.
There are.
Can I put in a plug for what I think is a great alternative? There are places that you go with your own coffee mug, like your
That's
Yeti,
great.
and they charge you $1 for your coffee,
Right.
and and no matter how large they are, like a huge coffee,
Yeah.
it's $1.
Yeah.
great.
Which is
So
great.
there are alternatives too.
So that's-
That can save you money.
Right.
And that's the key to these quote unquote bans for I think for the naysayers, for the people that say not in my city. There are alternatives to these products. So there are compostable straws.
Yes.
There are compostable straws. Now there are compostable straws that people don't like paper ones.
Yeah.
And some people have this kind of aversion to them, but there's compostable straws. I actually wish I brought one. So
We
you can
brought
see.
this up.
Yeah.
This is a topic a couple weeks ago because we were in Naples in March,
March, yeah.
March or April. We were in Naples and one place had paper straws and they
Actually,
disintegrated.
May.
Yeah.
In May.
Yeah, I'm
Last
not
month.
a big fan of paper
So
straws.
they just-
have compostable straws though
Right,
that
well-
are just like plastic.
That's what we're
My
getting.
market
So
has
he
it.
brought.
A
So
couple
we
other places
Yeah.
have them.
So we
Compostable
talked
straws,
about
yeah.
this on the podcast, and we actually put a link to where you could buy them.
Yeah.
These compostable straws.
Yeah.
I forget what the
So there is,
material
just like you said, there is an alternative.
There's not an alternative though, of course, to stoppers, hot stoppers.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not. So they just have to not use them. But there's only a few places. There's only 2 places in the city that actually sell them, or that offer them hot stoppers.
We're not going to mention their names.
We're not mentioning
Because we don't do that.
We're not.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully they stay, get behind it. And we have, in our city, we have a lot of marine debris just flowing right into our harbors and right into our water. It's unfortunate that we don't have a recycle system where our recycle bins are covered, and we don't have a trash system where our bags are not just. I mean, my street on Tuesday morning is a rubble field. I'm literally picking up all the time because we have dogs, we have seagulls, and we have wind. And literally, my street has to be cleaned
So-
up all the time.
So do you know? Your recycling the cover is supposed to be off, right?
The recycling.
The lid. You're supposed to be open, right?
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Our recycle, the ones we are given from the city, is a tote. It's completely open.
Right.
Right, it's completely open.
And that should. Other cities and towns that are a little maybe more advanced than us, and we're trying to support this. Have a system that's closed.
Yeah.
That would really be
That would-
effective.
I'd
because
like to
all
know
of
when
our
there's
water-
big spilled trash, why the people who collect the trash don't travel with some sort of broom and dustpan.
Because they would never.
They just
get
leave
through their
it.
route.
They wouldn't
They would
get
never
through.
get through their route.
It's not their
It's there 5
responsibility.
seconds.
No.
They-
Add that times 10,000 households.
Right, when you watch them picking up garbage, they're going zip, 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 zip to
Yeah.
each house.
And-
What I don't like
They
is
try to
when
keep that
when
out.
they know something falls out and they leave it there.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen, I look
Yeah.
out my window and something falls out, blows away a little bit, out of.
I think I think they do a really a very difficult job.
Oh, I agree.
And I think the
but
DPW does a really good job.
Absolutely.
I think one of our issues is that, as a residents, the 7 a.m. Put it out at 7 a.m. because
Right.
that's when their route starts. Don't put it out
Yeah.
the night before, and then a lot of
Yeah.
the problems will be all set. And I know
I think that should be a citywide
It is.
mandate.
it
And
is.
it's not just
Oh.
recycling.
Unfortunately, we
Well,
don't have,
you know
like,
what? See, in this
Not
town,
just
right?
recycling,
You
it's
have a lot of
trash,
people
right,
that
7
are
a.m.
coming from someplace else,
Right.
and they leave on Sunday nights, and the trash goes out on Mondays, and they're going back to Topsfield or whatever. See.
Right. Oh,
Happy
what about
Father's Day.
Joey goes to work at like 3
Bye,
o'clock in
Chris.
the morning.
Bye.
I drive home. My coffee break. I go home. I put it out at 8.
But maybe some people can't do that.
No, right. That's what. That was,
Right,
that
some
was the
people
point.
can't definitely,
Yeah.
and that's why
That it can't be a law. You
you
can't put it
know-
out till 7 a.m. on Monday on the day of trash day
Right.
because some people have to have a little bit of leniency there.
So my shift at the beach starts around 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, and this is before the DPW gets there, and you just can't even imagine what people leave. Like there'll be a mountain of whole chairs, toy trucks, shovels, pails. It's 30 beach towels. 30 beach towels. Somebody could just come and scoop up all this stuff and resell it and make money. It's just phenomenal how much stuff is left behind.
All right, Eric. So what can people do?
So a few things that people could do. You could go to the 25th, at 7 p.m. Show your support would be wonderful.
Where can they go?
City Hall. City Hall, the big auditorium there. At City Hall.
Kairou's Auditorium.
Yeah.
Kairos, yeah.
Yep. That's June 25th, by the way. There's a Facebook event out there. You could share that, comment on that. There's also on Seaside Sustainability Facebook page, there's a change.org petition if you want to sign it. You could also email Joanne Senos. Am I saying her last name right? Senos? Senos? I don't know if she's
I've just
city clerk.
emailed her
Okay.
myself, but
All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, anyway, her email is jsenos at gloucester-ma.gov, jsenos. And you can email her your support and say, hey, I support this.
Because then she distributes it to all the counselors, right?
Yeah, and during that evening, they will ask Joanne
So
what
is
happened.
June 25th a Wednesday night?
That's a Tuesday
Oh,
night.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday
Okay.
night.
Okay.
Fiesta week. It's
Right. 'Cause the
Fiesta
no-
starts
the
on
no-
Wednesday, so they'll be all
novena-
right.
The novena starts on Tuesday.
Yeah, the novena is kind of specialized, though.
Sausage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
People can go. It's
no, people
okay.
could go. I get it,
Right,
but like
right.
the rest of the week, actually, Thursday is where Fiesta kind of traditionally is. Like, there'll be a ton of people down there.
There'll be more people down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that the night we're going
Not to
Joe?
lessen the importance of the novena. The novena's at the heart of what Fiesta is all
Right.
about. But
What night are we going?
what's that?
What night are we going to Fiesta?
I'll be going. I'll be going Saturday on the boat for the greasy pole. Yeah.
That's
So
it?
you're gonna be parked out there.
You
I don't
ever
go like
walk
a-
around?
Not like I used to. Well, they don't. It's not like it used to be. It was. It used to be like
Nothing
all
is.
the
Nothing
Italians.
is.
No, I know.
Like it
But it
used
used to be like all the Italians, and they had all the carts with all the specialty foods and stuff like that. And
The Italian
now, like
music.
what white people, Americans, Irish people could think of as the Fiesta is not what my Fiesta is. My Fiesta is the procession, the novena, the greasy pole, and the sailing boats, obviously. But like the white people or the Irish want to say that like the gross carnival is what Fiesta and the carnies
Yes,
or
but
what
it's
Fiesta
so
is all
much fun
about.
to play Fiesta bingo.
Yeah, well, it is. It's kind of for people that actually grew up with the traditions of it.
Right.
It's actually whatever. I mean, I get how funny it is to outsiders, but it really the Fiesta is a beautiful. The traditions of Fiesta that the keepers of St. Peter hold on to is actually a very beautiful thing.
It's very special.
So,
A
what?
very special thing to do is the closing procession
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock at night
On Sunday.
on Sunday,
Yeah,
and that's when they process with the
put St. Peter
statue,
back
St. Peter
around the
back,
fort.
and
Right.
they go around the fort. And some years they have fireworks, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful because it's really
It is.
It
It
is.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
For the last 20 years, like having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning on Monday. I don't do it. But as a kid, it was just it was great. And my sister still does it. But yeah, and kudos to the people that keep up those traditions.
To keep up the novena and
the novena and all the things. Even like the pie eating contests.
Were there pie eating contests when you were a kid? Was that?
Yeah, there was all that stuff.
There was that too.
Yeah, there was all that stuff. But the same this pageantry and there's behind the scenes stuff of the same boat races that to the outsiders people don't really understand, but it's really pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I want to just do a quick shout out to Ken Hecht, Ward 2 counselor, because without him this couldn't be happening. So it was a really good partnership
he's awesome,
between
isn't he?
Ken and Seaside. So yes, definitely. So thank you guys for having us and supporting Seaside Sustainability.
Yeah,
really
thank you for coming in. Yeah, whenever these things come in, as a business owner, I'm cautiously optimistic, but still, because some green initiatives, in the past, are not taken into consideration in my, like sometimes there are, like I'm all in on solar, right? But I'm all in on solar because I'm actually making money with solar.
Right.
Even though I like the fact that it's green for the environment and stuff, that wasn't the deciding factor for me. The deciding factor for me as an economics major, went to Bentley College, growing up.
Cost and convenience.
Cost and convenience, 100%. So it's nice. So I think putting energy towards finding solutions that are, workable and livable and not
affordable.
And affordable.
Beneficial.
It's a great way to spend your time. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for the work you guys do. I know you have partnerships all over the place.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other great groups that are doing work in our community?
Well, geez, now if you're gonna put me in the spot, because if I forget one or two or five, then I'm gonna.
All
be
right.
really
Well, I won't do that. Then.
Right? If I had a list, I can't.
All right. Well, I know
There's a whole bunch of them.
there are.
Right?
I see the list. You know what I mean? It's all. Whenever there's something happening, there's 10 groups that are all pulling in the same direction, which is nice.
And I could probably name 7 right now, and then I'm gonna miss 3. And then
We don't want that to happen.
Hey, you missed me.
We don't want that to happen. Thanks for coming in, Eric.
Thank you.
All right. The next thing we were going to talk about is I want to do a shout out to Kate's mom, Mimi, Martha Foley. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday.
She's sharing. I wonder how that dynamic is going in their household. The push and pull of who gets more attention. Kate's father on Father's Day, or mother for her birthday.
Oh, bye. Bye.
What do you think? How do you think that's going
I
to go?
think people evolve to a certain level, but by the time they're the ages of Kate's parents, where they seek things other than attention for themselves.
Well, not necessarily attention, but actually the inverse, I think, is what fathers want. Less attention and
Right.
rather be left alone.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
It says a lot.
Yeah. Don't break my balls. Did you see Chris's hat today? On his hat it says, "Don't break my balls."
Always tasteful, sartorial choice.
Tremendous. Yeah, Chris was just here putting his buoys together. He's going to be. He got a recreational license, so he went and he bought
What's that? A recreation.
For lobster.
recreational lobster
for
license.
lobster.
So he bought 10 traps, used traps off of a lobsterman.
Wow.
He went and bought brand new rope and brand new buoys, and another back man helped him put all the rope together the right way.
I saw Chris showing him.
Yeah, Chris was showing him,
Oh, great.
and so I've asked him, and I hope he does this. I told him I wanted him to put a spreadsheet together of all the costs of what he's got into this,
Oh, like the people who go salmon fishing in Alaska.
and how many lobster he's caught times
Yeah.
to what the lobster price is to
Right,
see
well,
if it would have been cheaper for him to just buy them at the Stop and Shop.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
maybe after 2 years it'll, just maybe after 2 years or something it'll.
It'll
Why
be-
would he buy his lobsters at Stop and Shop instead of from you?
No, I don't know, because whatever. He's a friend. I'd give them to him. But yeah, so that's it. It'll be interesting to see. Congratulations to Gloucester High School girls softball Division II North champs. They were. I was following this on Twitter because whoever does the Gloucester High School athletics Twitter account always tags me in what's happening,
Oh, great.
and so I can retweet it so my followers can see. And so it was tied going in. It was tied up at the end of the 7th inning. There's 7 innings in a high school softball game. So seven tied. It was tied at 6-6 in there. At the top of the 8th, which is the big first inning of extra innings, Gloucester High School softball scored 8 runs
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Wow.
and put them away.
Wow.
Like the
so
Women's
Right.
World Cup against
Wow.
Thailand.
Yeah, that was like 13 to
13 to nothing.
Women's World Cup versus Thailand, which
It was 13 to nothing, but they had just Thailand had just beaten somebody else 11 to nothing. So those were huge.
are you sure
scoring
about that?
games. Yeah,
I
huge
don't know
scoring
about
games.
that, but
I don't think that was their first game for both of those
Yeah.
teams in the World Cup.
Oh, okay, but
Maybe
so,
it
but they
was
had
a
just to
non-World
get
Cup
to
game.
it was a non-World Cup game to get to
another time.
Oh.
Right,
Oh, I
right.
see.
Okay,
To play
in the
in.
land of the blind, Kim, the nearsighted man is king.
Right. Yeah. There you go. That's a good way to put it. So anyway, there was some outrage about the way they ran up the score because, like, you know.
No, that counts. Their total goals scored are going to count later on.
Right, as in tiebreakers. So we grew up, like, you know, with Pee Wee soccer and stuff like that. That if you, like, once you get to 5 goals, you know, you let off, and you, like, the girls will have to
Yeah.
hit the ball three times before they even take a shot on net or something. So it's like, you know, they're taught like sportsmanship.
Right.
Now at this level, Thailand they're in a group with the United States and 2 other teams. Now they all 4 of these teams play each other and to advance to the next round, and the other 2 teams in that division will also play Thailand. In the case of a tie at the top of those 4 teams, it goes to points 4. So, and those other teams get to play Thailand also.
Oh, okay.
So if the United States and say Sweden both have the same number of wins,
Right.
but the United States has 23 goals scored, and Sweden has 24 goals scored, Sweden advances and the United States doesn't.
Right.
All right.
So there is a reason.
Reason
So
why.
and Sweden gets to play Thailand, which is obviously a weak team.
Right.
So if Sweden ran it up and the United States decided to play nicey and only
Yeah.
scored 7 goals,
Right.
they could get bounced out.
So,
Right.
okay.
Right. So there is a reason for what they did.
I think the arguments were more about the celebration
Yeah.
after the 8th goal. You're supposed to
Yeah.
quit celebrating.
Ah.
But what you have to understand is, for some of those U.S. women players, it was their first World Cup goal,
Goal. Right.
and they spontaneously celebrated.
I read that as well.
Yeah. So there you go. There's that. It's National Pollinator Week, not National Pollen Week. Not National
Wow.
Pollen.
God.
Don't make a mistake and call it National
Well,
Pollen
it
Week.
feels like it could be National Pollen
It
Week
is.
with the allergies.
In
but-
my
That's what
case,
Joey was saying
that's
as
exactly
well.
the way I felt.
It's
but
a week to celebrate creating pollinator gardens. It's a week to celebrate bats. Bats are pollinators. Beetles are pollinators. Also, butterflies, of course. Bees. Hummingbirds are pollinators.
hummingbirds, I've had a total fail on my hummingbird.
On your green hummingbird feeder?
What? I thought you had a hummingbird. Did
Uh,
you have a hummingbird
one.
on your
No,
hummingbird?
no. You know that was fake.
Oh, I did
You know
not.
that was fake. You knew that was fake. You knew that was fake.
Like the Nancy Pelosi videos? Is that you do it
No,
the same
what?
way?
How did you do that?
There's apps for everything. You know that, right? Yeah, you put the little thing. You could put lightning bolts. You could put swirls in coffee. You can. There's all different things you can do.
You got to plant some plants.
If you're a
you want-
liar, you do that stuff,
If
Kim.
you want hummingbirds,
I wrote in the post. Someone says, "Is this real?" I says, "No, it's."
Oh, I didn't believe it.
if you plant things, if you plant for the hummingbirds, they will come.
I think my number one problem was the lack of red. I got the pretty green hummingbird feeder instead of the cheap plastic red one. Everybody says the cheap plastic red ones work.
Well, they do work, but your green one, I've had a
I went with the mason jar, light green, seafoam green one.
You know what?
Total
Just
fail.
put-
I want to smash it.
Just put 2 up. I told you this. Put a cheap plastic one and a nice one, and that way then they'll
The
go back
cheap
and forth.
red one will throw off all of the decor that I've worked so hard to establish the
So
theme.
then what would
big.
one plant in a pollinator garden?
Oh, there's so many things. So if you
Just
wanted
give
to,
us the highlights.
okay, so if you wanted to attract, hummingbirds specifically,
Right.
for example, you would plant native honeysuckle, not wonderful fragrant Japanese honeysuckle, but Lonicera sempervirens. It blooms in beautiful Spanish orange, red, tangerine color. That's your number 1 plant for attracting hummingbirds. Then suppose you want to attract black swallowtail butterflies. You would plant anything in the carrot family like dill, parsley, fennel, because all those plants, all those members of the carrot family, the black swallowtail will deposit their eggs on that. That's the caterpillar's food plant. So when you're planting the most important thing when you're planting a pollinator garden is you want colorful nectar plants to bring the pollinators in, but you also want the caterpillar food plant for the butterflies. So once they come in, then there's something to sustain them, and then you can watch their whole life cycle unfold if you do both. So you want the colorful nectar plants to bring the bees and butterflies in, but then you also want the caterpillar food plants as well.
There you go.
So
Get that
let's-
going for you.
We'll celebrate. I think it ends. It started June 17th and ends June 24th. National Pollinator Week.
Tell me about the plovers.
The plovers are doing awesome. Today they are 16 days old, which is a huge milestone. I don't think we've ever had 3 make it this far. Knock on wood. And this is their 4th year. I know some nasty people write that, well, in 4 years we've only had 1 survive. It's really 3 years we had 1 survive. This is their 4th year, and so far we've had these 3 beautiful little chicks. They're doing great. They go down to the creek and feed during the day, and they make it, it's very quiet and peaceful down there, and then they come back up to the protected area at night. And they're still using the protected area as a little home base, so they're taking little tiny flights, little mini flights. You can see them like run, leap,
Oh, yeah.
and get a little, do
Getting a little
flap,
air.
and then crash.
Oh,
You know
wow.
what I mean? So it's
They do it. Do they roll when they
Discovery
crash?
Channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the plovers.
There you go.
Yeah, and then also we have killdeer nests. Killdeer's hatching all around Gloucester right now, so they're pretty much right on a similar schedule as the piping plovers. They're not endangered, but they're adorable, and there's a whole bunch of them running around at Good Harbor Beach parking lot right now. So
My house finch nest.
yeah,
That
you had
do you remember the one got in the house and
and
everything happened there?
Yeah.
Well, the nest went away after, and they built a new nest, and we have 5
5
chicks,
more little
5 chicks that
chicks
have
now?
hatched,
Oh, wow.
and
And
they've
did
been getting fed right now. They're
Did they
getting
build
bigger.
the nest in the exact same place?
Same exact spot.
Same exact.
Yeah, we can
spot.
expect that. I'm thinking we can expect that the same.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the same mother and father building it?
Yeah, probably.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Like, so did they survive the whole winter and are back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. House sparrows. Oh no, house finches. Yeah, they're here all year round. Yeah.
I wonder where they go.
Yeah, where do they go all winter?
Yeah.
Well, I want to double check on that. I know house sparrows are here all year round. They're here feeding at people's feeders all year round. I think house finches do as well. But if they don't, they go where all the other ones go. They
Yeah.
go to Costa Rica, Florida,
My house,
Texas.
yeah.
Because I would think they have a
Mexico,
nice
but-
little situation, a nice little
Yeah.
condo over at your
Yeah,
place.
but-
Well, I
They
I'm
don't
thinking
do
about it, right? It
Yeah.
faces the sun. The door is like a dark blue,
Yeah,
so it's probably warm.
yeah.
I'm thinking it has something to do
Right,
with
it
it.
holds the
I don't
heat
know.
in.
And it has a nice ledge there,
Yeah.
and there's the wreath, is the yellow wreath, so they probably can hone right in on the yellow wreath.
Right, and then there's little areas for perching around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's the rail. So it's funny. So if you go there, and you go from inside the house, looking out the window where they built the nest. You get within 3 feet, and the father flies off.
Mm-hmm.
The mother flies off. The father is the red one. The mother is the brown one, right? The mother flies off,
right.
and then they're buzzing around and they're on the railing of the deck, like, and they're like very aggressively
They're very-
perched,
they're
and they're like,
protecting.
yeah, they're protecting.
Yes,
it.
they're
It's,
protecting.
it's so wild. You know, I'm not very in tune with nature, but like
You
this
are.
is
You are more
like
than you-
this
you
is
are
like
more
a
than you think. You are more than
Yeah.
you think. You're out here every day. You see what.
oh yeah, like I love
Yeah.
the birds that we see at the
Yeah.
so much more wildlife birds. I didn't tell you, otters. We had another. Remember how
Oh,
every
really?
2 years we have otters, like an otter sighting around. This time it was over here on the
And on
right
that
next to
side?
Pete Mondello's boat.
And was it?
It was like they're so fleeting for 20 minutes.
Was it? Was it like
Playing-
more than
they're
one?
playing with each
It
other.
was like a little family playing.
Mark Ring saw it, and
Okay.
he could tell you. He ran up here to get me.
Yeah.
And they were
And
gone.
they were
probably.
gone.
And they were
Oh.
going,
Yeah.
oh.
I've seen them on 3 different occasions over the
Yeah.
course of probably 7 years.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, so
they're,
sweet.
they're the coolest
Yeah,
things
so
to.
cute.
Aw.
They've
And did you
only-
see the thing, the Nutra, or whatever it was, the headshot?
Yeah.
You know what?
Did
What
you?
you have there is just a common old groundhog / woodchuck. You didn't approve my comment. A groundhog and a woodchuck are the same exact animal. They're related to they're the largest member of the squirrel family.
Really?
Yeah, so it's the same animal that you're because your choices were groundhog, woodchuck,
Elephant.
elephant, wallaby.
Wallaby, that would be quite a find.
But they're the
Sure
same.
it's
They're
not a
the same
wallaby?
animal. Groundhog and woodchuck. No, it's a groundhog. Woodchuck.
Did you make
That's
some
fine.
mess
I
out
don't
of
care.
that, Joe?
I don't. What?
It was
Did you
dead.
grill it or make it a coat or anything?
No. So you know how big of a pussy I am around animals, right?
Yeah, ridiculous.
So it was clearly dead, and I still, with my heart was pounding, like going
Yeah.
up to it to take
Yeah.
the photo.
Oh, no.
Because I was afraid it was gonna the eyes were gonna open up, and he was gonna lunge at my neck,
That it
and,
was
and I was gonna
playing
and it's gonna bite my jugular vein, and I was gonna bleed out.
You need some
That's all I can think about.
therapy or
That's all I can
medication.
think about. I swear to God.
It's like a
I think
possum.
you need
It's
some
playing
therapy.
dead, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just like, and then just like a horror movie,
Yeah.
like the wooden mannequin doll that's like it's 2 feet long, and it's just laying there harmlessly, and they have the
Grown
little
man
music, and then
terrified of
the
roadkill.
eyes pop open, lunges for the neck, and like all of a sudden, just blood is just gushing out of my jugular vein, and I bleed out right on the side of the
Yeah.
boulevard.
You know what?
One
Cut
can
scene.
One can
Yeah.
only dream.
You know what? I bet you would have a heart attack if you've seen those photos? I'm sure there's like a boat, and then there's a humpback leaping out of the water, and the humpback is like 10 stories high, and the little boat is in the background. In the
Oh, I've seen
foreground,
those.
and I'm
Yeah,
like- I'm like,
as
oh my God.
exhilarating as everybody says that is, if I was like on a little Zodiac,
You would
know,
die.
yeah, I would
You would have
I would
a
pass
heart-
out.
You would
I'd
have a heart
pass out.
attack.
Yeah.
Afraid of roadkill.
It might not
You
be
never
roadkill.
know.
You never know.
There's
It might
only
not be
one
road-
animal that I like, and I love this animal, and it's the Good Morning Gloucester associate mascot, Bo.
Bo.
Bo is pretty
He's
special.
adorable.
He doesn't leap, he doesn't bark, he doesn't
give
nip.
Him some time. He won't nip, but he will bark and he will jump.
He doesn't bark. He's so cuddly.
No, no bark.
Love that dog.
So cuddly.
So we haven't had any more affirmations about the black bear in Magnolia,
No,
but they're coming from the source. I consider a very
I believe it.
reliable source, a guy that does not exaggerate.
Right, I totally believe it. There was a supposed sighting of a black bear in East Gloucester 4 months ago, so I totally believe it. And they're headed this way. I mean, they were in,
I wish Catherine was here to talk
Wow.
about not necessarily East Gloucester, but the school expansion
Oh, I
proposal.
know.
She did a good job with the post. I didn't even read the
haven't-
post, but
yeah, I
the only
haven't
reason
read
I
it
say
yet.
she did a good job was because I think she presented all of. There was like 13 slides of what the different
There's
proposals
like
were.
7 different options. That's about as far as I got
Yeah.
reading into. Yeah, sometimes I go back and read through all the stuff that I've missed.
Yeah.
So-
No, she's
she's
pretty thorough with her stuff.
Looks like a really good post.
So it's Father's Day. It's 10/22.
Happy Father's Day, Joe.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Father's Day.
My ribs should be nearing completion. Maybe we'll whack them up. Everybody, I hope everybody has a great day, and treat your fathers kindly. Don't break their balls. It's Father's Day. Peace out.